This arrow is pointing at me for long life. Can you live forever? That is a question that we're thinking about. Can you live forever? Some people want to be able to live forever. Other people, they are fine not living forever. But what is it exactly, living forever? What does that mean exactly? Well, a lot of times we may be thinking, us in this physical body, us living forever, and then we have to do the best that we can for our own physical health to live longer. Well, there's also another aspect to that we're going to discuss as well. Because it's not just about the physical body. It's also about other things that you are doing within your life. You can also extend this to more spiritual type of practices and things along those lines. So it goes in many, many different directions. But the thing is, why live forever? Why would you want to live forever? Some people do, as I said, some people do, some people don't. The fact is, over time, our body deteriorates in some capacity. Usually after a certain age, like we reach a peak and then it just goes down from there. I want to say maybe like the first, I would say probably the good first 25 years of your life, things are going up, 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 up. But once you reach 25, there's certain things within your body, certain like hormone levels or certain other chemical things within your body that start to decrease. And you really may not notice it for another decade. It could take you until you're 30 or 35 to realize that you don't really have as much energy or stamina as you did when you were much younger. Maybe that's around the age you're starting to notice some more physical health problems. Maybe it's a little bit harder for you to do physical activity, or you start seeing some more wrinkles or gray hairs or whatever else. So that is just one aspect of this. Obviously, our health will deteriorate over time. But what if you could live forever, but you retained your youthfulness? You were able to retain, instead of like thinking of it as you're 70, 80, 90 years old and you actually are physically have the symptoms of it. What if you were that old, but you were like a 20 or 30-year-old? Some people may want that as well. So when we think about it, the other aspect is when we live for a certain length of time, what if you had the things in your life that you've always wanted as well? Think about that. Perhaps you have always dreamed about doing a certain activity or having something within your life, and you're very old and you never had that happen. Well, what if you had everything within your life and you were relatively youthful then? Would you want to live forever? These are all very important questions to be really thinking about. Because here is where we're going to go in different directions here and talk about how you can live forever. And I've used that in quotation marks because it's not as simple as, oh yeah, I'm just going to be 100 and 200, 300 years old in this physical body and just continue on. That's not what we're talking about. So, the number one thing, I guess, when it comes to the physical aspect, your physical health is very important, obviously. When we are very young, we take it for granted. We're not really looking at things that we can do for our own physical health and well-being that are going to help us achieve youthfulness. Not just physically looking, but also how our body operates. We're not really thinking about it. We could just be loading it up with a bunch of junk and all this other crap. Not really thinking about the consequences, because we don't have consequences when we're younger. But then when we get older, there could be consequences. We're not really thinking about that. So if you put your health first and you're eating things that are proper for your health, taking proper care of your body, and in addition, realizing when certain things start to change within your body, like for example, in my particular case, I thought about certain hormone levels that decrease after a certain age. So I supplement with some of those so that they don't decrease as much, because they serve a proper role for my body. So I get those levels checked. Everything is good. Everything is perfect, you know? So you have to be able to think about what you're eating, what you're putting into your body, what you're putting on your body, even just everything that can become one with your body. So that is the physical aspect, but that's actually talk about the real reason how you can live forever. Because did you know that you can live forever? Every single person can live forever. And how is that? Well, let's talk about the physical world first. The number one thing is, think about people who were dead, who are no longer around. Their physical body has died. But they're still making a lasting impact on you and many other people's lives. Think about that for a moment. These are people who can be celebrities, famous people. They could be, you know, some sort of major celebrity that a lot of people liked or they looked up to. They could be revolutionary philosophers or psychologists or someone who really made a major impact on a lot of people's lives, who brought a lot of awareness and attention to something. That is how you have a long life. That is how you live forever, because even though your physical body's gone, your physical body is dead, it's no longer around, you're still making a lasting impression. Think about some of your favorite musical artists that perhaps have passed away. They're still making a positive impact on you. And there, other people who are very young maybe even be finding those music artists. So just think about the impact that something you can put out into the world that other people are going to find after you are no longer around, that you can make an impact. That's how you live on forever. Okay? That is the way that we're looking at this here. It's like, sure, you can do all the physical things that you want to make yourself better, to increase your health, increase your livelihood, make yourself feel as comfortable as you can with your own physical body. But ultimately, if you really want to live forever in the hearts and minds of so many other people physically, you have to put something out there that's going to inspire people. So think, for example, let's just take my videos, for example. You know, if YouTube is, and other platforms, I can't even use YouTube because, you know, who knows how much longer that may hang around with some of the stuff that they're doing. If you think about, okay, well, let's just say it's still around, everything is good and operational like 100 years from now or something, you know? Or maybe I write books and I have stuff and I have all this other stuff out there for people to see and watch. I could be helping people long after I'm dead. It's interesting, isn't it? So just think about that. Now, of course, we can also address this from a spiritual perspective. Let's take another dive into that particular topic, because we are in this physical body. We have limited resources within this physical body, limited capacity to really understand the whole world and everything that's going on. But our spirit never dies. The thing that is much larger than us, the thing that is basically the majority of who we truly are at the deepest level, that will never die. That is something that is here with us forever. So even if our physical body dies, the soul and spirit lives on to some capacity. So we have to look at it from all different angles about living forever. A lot of people may think of it as physical health. How can I live to be 150 years old? Think deeper. Think deeper. Think about how you can inspire other people, change other people's lives. And think about the fact that even if your physical body dies, you're not really dead. Your spirit lives on. Whether or not you believe that that spirit will go into another body, or, you know, like reincarnation or something along those lines. You know, everyone has different beliefs. You know, that's really up to you. But if you really think about it, living a long life, living forever, is something that all of us do. So, just very, very interesting things to think about.